StringStream inherits from the more basic stream class in the C++ library. And this example shows how you can use some of the inherited features of streams when you're working with string streams. Now, the example we're going to use is based on temperature statistics. So to find a simple tempStat class here, we've seen something similar to this in previous examples. The temperature stat has a minimum and the maximum temperature for that month. We have a constructor to initialize the minimum and the maximum values. And then we have a write method that will write the temperature stat to some kind of stream. And the key point here is that OStream is the base class. You can specify any subclass instead. For example, the actual stream object that you're writing to might be a stream, or it might be a file stream, or it might be a string stream, and it doesn't matter. So this write method is capable of writing the temperature stat to any kind of output stream, and it outputs the minimum and the maximum temperatures, obviously. And then likewise, the read method takes an iStream parameter, and iStream is the superclass, but you could pass in a subclass such as an input file stream or an input string stream instead. So whatever kind of stream you've specified, it will then read data, binary data, from that file, or from that stream, I should say. So that's my tempStat class. I can close that down. The application code is defined here in string stream additional features.cpp. So let me lead you through this code. So the first thing we note is that I've included the SStream header because I'm going to be performing string stream input and output to a string, in other words. And I create an OStringStream object here. So that's capable of writing using streaming operations to output to a string stream. So my string stream object is called OSS, output string stream. And you notice here I've specified binary mode. You can do this. You can output data to a string in binary format, just like you can output to a file in binary format. It's exactly the same principle. So I'm going to be writing to a string, effectively, in binary format. And then what I do is I create and output 12 temperature statistics objects. So what this syntax is doing here, I'm creating a tempStat object on the stack, and then that temporary object, that temperature stat object, and then calling its write method to write that temperature statistic to the string stream. That's the write method that we looked at just a moment ago. And I do that 12 times. So effectively, 12 temperature stats will be output to this string stream in binary format. And what I then do is I want to read from the same string stream. So I create an iStringStream object here, and it's called ISS. I'm going to be reading from the same string as I've just written to, effectively. So the OStringStream has been building up a string in memory in a string buffer, and that string I'm going to use as the source for my input stream. So my input string stream is going to be reading from that string that we've just been building up over the last 12 statements. So reading from that string in binary format. I've opened the file to do that. I've opened the stream to do that, I should say. Keep on looping until we get to the end of the stream, effectively. The method is called EOF, as in end of file. What it really means is the end of the stream, not the end of the file. Obviously, we're not working with files here, we're working with strings. Anyway, this statement here will read from the input stream. It'll attempt to perform a binary read. It'll attempt to read the minimum and the maximum temperatures and populate this object with the value. So first time around the loop, this will read the minimum and the maximum temperatures from the string for January. And next time around the loop, it'll be February, and so on and so forth. Eventually, we'll get to a point where we've tried to do a read, but the number of bytes read was 0 because effectively we've fallen off the end of the file. So in that case, if we haven't read any bytes from the file, then it must mean that we've reached the end of the file. So stop looping in that case. Otherwise, output the temperature statistic that we've just read in, output it to the console, and then repeat. So this will loop through 12 times, read in each time around the loop, read in the next value in binary format from the string. So just to run the application. So you can see the write methods initially build up a formatted string containing 12 sets of temperature stats in a string. We then read from that string in memory, and these are the values that we've just read in. These are the values, these values here correspond to the values that we output. Okay, so just to summarize, you can use any methods when you're using a string stream. You can use any methods defined in your parent classes. So for example, you can open files, you can open string streams in binary format if you want to. You can call the read method and the write method specifying streams, just like we did when we were working with file streams and raw streams in previous examples.